Hey guys, welcome to Anandeshwar Uncovered. On February 28, 2026. A date the history books will never forget. The world held its breath as the first missiles crossed the horizon, marking the start of a direct confrontation between the United States, Israel, and Iran. We aren't just talking about a regional skirmish anymore. We are talking about a collision of superpowers. On one side, the combined military might of the US and Israel. On the other, and defiant Iran backed by the strategic shadows of Russia and China. For decades, we feared a third world war. Today, as the Strait of Hormuz remains a graveyard of military vessels and global energy prices skyrocket, that fear feels like a reality. But in a world divided by East versus West, democracy versus autocracy, is there anyone left who can actually speak to both sides? We have to find a country who have power to stop this war, a war that can convert into a world war anytime. Today, we look at the one nation that might hold the key to a ceasefire, a $4 trillion economy with no enemies, only strategic partners. We are talking about the rise of India and why PM Narendra Modi might be the only leader with the guts to stop the clock on Armageddon. So guys, to understand why we need a mediator, we have to look at the current war. The world has split into rigid factions. The Western Bloc, led by the United States under President Donald Trump, their mission is to total neutralization of the Iranian nuclear threat. The Eastern support, the Russia and China support. For Russia President Putin and China President Xi Jinping, Iran isn't just an ally, it's a vital chess piece to keep American influence out of the East. If the US strikes Iran, Russia sees it as a threat to their doorstep, the neutral countries factory. Guys, nations like France, Australia, and Canada, while they are allies of the West, they are hesitant. They remember the lessons of the past. They don't want a 20-year war, they want stability. Here is the problem. President Donald Trump won't talk to Russia President Putin. Israel President Netanyahu won't talk to Iran. And China President Xi Jinping is too busy playing the long game. The traditional superpowers are too involved in the fight to stop it. This is where the India factor changes everything. While the world was preparing for war, India was preparing for leadership. In early 2026, India officially crossed the $4 trillion GDP milestone. This isn't just a number, it's leverage. India is now a global pivot state. It is the only country that is a member of the Quad, with the US and Australia, while also being a leading voice in BRICS, with Russia and China. Why does India matter? Because India's economy is so deeply integrated that no one wants to lose them to the US. India is the ultimate counterweight to China and a massive trade partner. To Russia, India is the biggest buyer of energy and a historical all-weather friend. To Iran, India is a lifeline, a partner in the Chabahar port, and a consistent buyer of oil despite sanctions. India has achieved something no other superpower has: zero enemies. Diplomacy isn't just about treaties, it's about chemistry. Look at the timing of the events leading up to this war. The Israel connection. On February 26, 2026, just 48 hours before the strikes, PM Modi was in Tel Aviv. His bond with Benjamin Netanyahu is special strategic level. India understands Israel's security concerns like no one else. The US connection, with Donald Trump back in the White House, the Howdy Modi era of friendship has returned. They talk on the phone regularly. Trump respects strong leaders, and he respects India's economic growth. The Iran connection. Despite the war, India has maintained a middle way. India has sent medical aid to Tehran and refused to join the chorus of total condemnation, urging instead for sovereignty and restraint. It means that India is the only country in the world who have a very good relation with all these three war countries. India Prime Minister Modi has also managed to keep the trust of the UAE, Saudi Arabia and Qatar while also being a best friend to Israel. This is a diplomatic tightrope that would make Machiavelli dizzy. If Trump needs a back channel to talk to Tehran, or if Iran needs a guarantee that they won't be annihilated, the road goes through New Delhi. People in London, Paris and Washington are asking, who can stop this? The UN is paralyzed by the veto. The European Union is divided. India is the only country with the guts to stand in the middle. PM Modi isn't just representing a country, he's representing the global South. He is the leader who can look Donald Trump in the eye and say, for the sake of the global economy we need a ceasefire, and then turn to Iran and say, for the sake of your future, we need de-escalation. This isn't just about politics. It's about 1.4 billion people who want peace. It's about a leader who has the domestic support and the international respect. The world is at a crossroads. We can continue down the path of a 2026 great power war, or we can look to the one leader who bridges the gap between the East and the West. If you believe that peace is possible through dialogue, and that India's neutral, strong and brilliant diplomacy is the only way out, then we need to make this message loud. I want to say to our viewers in the US, UK and across Europe, share this video. Let the White House know that the world is looking for a mediator, not more missiles. Let's get this to the desk of President Trump. If you agree that PM Modi and India have the power to save the world from this conflict, hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives and comment below. #India for Peace.